Welcome to the INS 2012 Snapshot. 2012's been a really interesting year as we've consolidated, reviewed, reflected and reimagined our future. The year began with our external review, with a great panel of experts, both national and international, who critically looked at the way in which we provide IT services to support the university. The panel were impressed by what they found, noting that we had continued to provide quality, cost-effective services throughout a period of significant growth for the university. But that said, they're also acutely aware of how technology is changing the business of higher education and aware of our aspirations as an institution towards 2020. The Griffith 2020 Strategic Directions document was in draft when they were here, and they had the benefit of viewing that document. And with this in mind, they encouraged us to be bold in our thinking about our vision for IT as we move towards 2020. Thankfully, the Vice Chancellor recognises the value that we play in achieving that vision for 2020 and charged me with the task of engaging the university community in setting a strategic direction statement for 2020 and how we wish to apply IT to deliver against that vision. So we ended the year with this reimagining of this future state. And throughout all of that, we kept our services going, we increased the quality of what we provide, extending hours of service in our libraries for our students and many other things that enrich the quality of that experience. So thank you to all of my colleagues within Information Services for another fantastic year. It's your commitment, your dedication and your good support that really makes this all possible. Let's now have a look at a few of the achievements of the year.
This is the Study Smart online tutorial. It was implemented in Semester 2, 2012, and already we've had users from all over the world, including the United States, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Arab Emirates. This resource has 8 modules which are designed to support Griffith's Succeeding at Griffith initiative, student retention and the development of Griffith graduate attributes. Study Smart will also be an essential element in the Griffith Online strategy. The content of Study Smart is open access, however, only Griffith students can log in to complete the quiz in Learning at Griffith.
So we use Study Smart in business informatics for our first year students so that they can build their library research skills. The students have found that it's really helped them with researching the library, their library tools, the things that are available for them. Within Study Smart, there's things like how to reference material, how to find the journal articles, how to find whether that is peer reviewed or not, and how to then use that in their assignment.
Bonus Plus is our resource sharing scheme where participating libraries share selected library material, and there's currently over 7.2 million items available on the Bonus Plus catalogue. We joined the Bonus Plus scheme in February this year. We've had close to 3,000 items requested through Bonus Plus, and we have had many staff and students telling us how wonderful it is to be able to access this material and how easy it's been to do that.
Commended very much on how well run the IT services are within Information Services, and also that we provided very good value and aligned quite well with the organisation. The other thing I think coming out of that, which is very important, is that they commended the staff on their contribution and their innovation within doing that. And I think that's very important because people are the basis of what you can deliver and what you can achieve.
Splunk is a piece of technology that allows us to index large amounts of data from disparate systems, whether it be server logs or application information, and generate real-time business intelligence. From an IT services perspective, using Splunk allows us to easily collate data on Griffith's single sign-on service, to identify point-in-time application traffic, or support our end users by locating a single user's activity across an hour, a day, or even a week, assisting in identifying and resolving access issues. Being able to know what our users do and where they do it from becomes critically important as we look to improve our systems to meet the changing expectations of the community. We can use Splunk to easily build usage profiles, allowing us to heat map our service access points across a campus or all campuses, across the country or even the globe, giving us a complete view of where our users come from.
So while we've done some good things this year, and I'm sure you'll be able to see more about some of the cool things that we've done, all I can say is that the way we are now is that changes are going to continue to occur. iPads, tablets, all of those, the way we operate, they're changing the way we operate, and we're going to be part of it. So it's a good future to look forward to.
Yes, information services has been a key partner with the research groups in two major projects in climate change adaptation, one an information hub and the other one a virtual laboratory. Information services brings three things to the table in these types of research projects. Firstly, our expertise in large-scale system development, infrastructure management and information management. Secondly, we've got access to crossover technologies, so technologies out of the creative arts might be useful in another area like medicine. And thirdly, the types of solutions required are very large and they're beyond the scope of one institution to deliver, so information services is part of a large national and international network of IT specialists and information management specialists from which we can draw resources and skills as needed to develop the solutions.
Both these projects, the Climate Change Data and Information Hub and the Virtual Laboratory in Biodiversity and Climate Change, are e-research infrastructure projects. So it's building the e-infrastructure that researchers in those areas will be able to utilise. So what's good about both these projects is the partnership involves not just the domain experts, but people who are designing and building and running and maintaining the e-infrastructure and the hardware and software systems that all of this domain expertise can then help guide and inform. Certainly without that collaboration, these projects wouldn't have got funded and wouldn't be up and running.
Griffith was the lead in obtaining funding and facilitating with Macquarie University to build Australian National Corpus to hold a collection of research linguistic data collections. It's the first of its kind in Australia. The Australian National Corpus holds written and spoken Australian English research collections in the form of audio, text, video. On the launch of the Australian National Corpus, it was compared to the Australian version of the Oxford Dictionary, a very modern version of that.
The Australian National Corpus is really an ongoing resource that's in continuing development, and our ultimate aim amongst all of us who are collaborating on this resource is to develop something that represents all the diversity of the Australian linguistic landscape. So the Australian National Corpus represents a really outstanding example, I think, of great collaboration between the knowledge of linguists and language technologists, but also the technical expertise of e-research services at Griffith University and other universities around Australia.
Presentations that I shared were largely around the ways in which information technology, broadband network services, and library collaboration can actually support this range of activities, focusing in on a and both proposition that we could actually attend to the needs of a research university and the priorities of the community around us by leveraging information technology and broadband services to the neighborhoods around our university. To think about ways in which we can be innovative, not only in the brick and mortar parts of the hospital, but in the service mission of the hospital to actually provide for better healthcare outcomes. I have to say that the development of a new healthcare campus is a unique opportunity for any university, for any city, and enormously exciting to see what Griffith University and the Gold Coast community will do to create a world-class, indeed a world-leading partnership between the hospital and the university.
So imagine you were trying to think about what IT 2020 would look like and how that supports the university in its vision of its future. What would you do? Well, the obvious thing was to go out and ask. Ask our members of our community, our academics, our students. Ask some 10 to 12-year-olds what they thought university would be like when they came here. Here's an example of some of the comments we heard back.
Technology will be in just about everything by 2020.
Devices will be smaller and more ubiquitous, and they'll be everywhere. So in a sense, we'll be using technology even when we don't even know we're using technology.
If you've got technology that's flexible and can be carried around with you and used in that way, it gives you that flexibility to interact.
We need the classroom as much as we need technology.
We would be foolish to ignore the capabilities that technology provides.
The physical classroom is incredibly important. But how the message is delivered, I think, will probably change dramatically.
So having heard all that feedback, we then had to distill that down into what we thought we wanted Griffith to be like in 2020 and how it was thinking about technology. We wanted to see our scholars, our learners, our teachers, our researchers as innovators in the application of emerging technologies to enhance what they do. How do we help them use the new potential that technology will bring to deliver even better outcomes in their learning, in their teaching, in their research? That's where we want to be. We want to see Griffith recognised as a leader in the innovative development and application of IT, in groundbreaking research, in research-informed teaching, and in student-centred learning. So what we said was, as an institution, we had to make sure that the IT foundations we were putting in place and the services we were situating around that made sure that we were agile, able to grab and move quickly on new opportunities they emerged. With those things in mind, we've set a series of strategic direction statements that will serve as both an aspirational and essential roadmap for Griffith over the coming 8 years.
What will happen from here on in is that ICTS will take a very lead role in producing the short-term plan, in other words, the 3 to 5 year plan that will come out of the 2020 strategy statement, and we'll start to execute that plan in order to deliver on the strategy.